Jack with MnREIA and Real Estate Promo with another Flip It Friday video. And today I want to explain what Subject 2 is, and maybe just spell a couple of the myths about what Subject 2 is. And I get asked this question all the time. Mike, what is Subject 2, and how do you get around the banks when they have what's called the due on sale or acceleration clause in it? Okay. Well, first of all, the banks have the right to call a loan due, and what that means is if a seller, so you get a loan on a property, if you sell the property or transfer ownership without paying off the loan, without getting permission from the bank, then the bank has the right to call that loan due or accelerate the loan and say, okay, you owed $150,000, you have to pay out the full $150,000 now because you transferred ownership. Okay? So that's what's called the due on sale clause. All right. There's a lot of training out there. I've got a bunch of training articles, videos, audios on that whole subject of Subject 2. And it behooves you to go and learn this. Today I just want to cover what the concept and the topic was. Because if a seller decides to sell you the property and let you take over the mortgage, perfectly fine. They deed you the property. So the deed and the mortgage are two separate things, the note and the mortgage. Right? So the deed transfers ownership. The note is the collateral, or it's the promise to pay, and the mortgage collateralizes the property to the note. So if you don't make payments based on the note, the mortgage gives the lender the right to call the loan due. So on a Subject 2 is when a seller sells you the property and just deeds it to you and you don't pay off the mortgage, that means you're assuming, or you're not assuming, but you're taking over the responsibility of the loan. The loan will stay in the seller's name. Right? So they will be the ones that are going to be responsible for that loan ultimately, but you are able to make payments on that loan and it'll stay in the seller's name while you're making payments on it. Now, the question becomes, well, doesn't the lender have the right to call the loan due, or will they call the loan due? The lender does have the right, yes, to call the loan due, but that does not mean that they will call the loan due. All right. Right? So the wording is in the mortgages that if you transfer the ownership without paying off the loan, without permission from the lender, then they have the right to call the loan due. But if you get permission from them, well, then they can't call the loan due because they said, okay, we're all right with that. But the reality is right now, all the loan lenders, even though they will never give you verbal permission to do that, so if you try to call a bank up or email them or whatever, they're always going to deny it. But the reality is they're never going to call a loan due in today's environment because the interest rates are so low. Where they're going to call a loan due is if the interest rates start going up higher again. Then it makes sense for them to call a loan due. Because right now they don't want to call a loan due and take a performing note and make it a non-performing note. So, I mean, at some point in the future, the lenders might start calling them due when the interest rates start going back up. But today, in today's environment, they're not calling them due anymore. Right? So don't be afraid about Subject 2s. I encourage you to go out and learn what Subject 2 is. It's a great way to buy properties, especially with these forbearances and these modifications that are going to be coming up. Then a lot of opportunities are going to be coming up if you understand what Subject 2 is. So if you like these videos, please hit the like button and share it with your friends. And we'll see you guys back here next week with another Flip It Friday video.